Now that I think about it, actually, the only Metroidvania... Oh, here we get the space jump, by the way. Now, what the space jump does is, if you time it well, which can be actually a bit tricky because the game isn't great in terms of programming with the space jump, you can jump infinitely, and it's amazing. You just got to be able to pull it off. You need to time it right. So it kind of makes the spider ball invalid from now on. So, oops. But as I was about to say, the only Metroidvanias I've really played have been Metroid games, which don't have the RPG elements of most Metroidvanias. You know, so aside from, I've played like the first hour of Symphony of the Night, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I mean, I love what I played. Oh, and like the first 30 minutes of Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. I mean, I love what I played, but I mean, I need to play the rest of them. You know. But yeah, you know, all these Metroidvanias that have come afterwards, like Axiom Verge, Hollow Knight, I think Cave Stories Metroidvania, I'm pretty sure. All of those, you know, these big influential ones that have changed up the formula. Even Bloodstained or something, I haven't played. So, yeah. That's... it feels like, you know, it feels to me like I know the genre very well and I love it, but then I think about, you know, how I've only really played one franchise in it, and I start to realise, hang on, you know, maybe I haven't. So this area is kind of strange. You need to come down here in order to fight off, I think, like 1 or 2 Metroids, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. But yeah, you got these strange platforms here that go up and down, and if you get caught on the bottom of one while it's going up, I don't know, if you get caught on the bottom of one at all, then it'll just knock you off. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's strange. Yeah, definitely not intentional then, because that's wigging out there. Huh. Also, just to give you an idea of how long it has been, like how long I've been putting off this post-commentary, I recorded this session, well, I recorded all of this Metroid 2 footage in about 1 day. Oh yeah, in 1 day, in like less than 3 hours, right? It didn't take very long. And that was in early April. And we are now in early July. It has been 3 months. 3 months I've had this footage on my hard drive, just waiting to be recorded over. And, well, here we are. Better late than never, I suppose. I just really have no motivation to do post-commentary. Which, again, is why I won't be doing it afterwards. So, here's our third energy tank. Very nice. And plus, I've just, over the years, and I'm sure it's been very noticeable, it's just, you know, there are certain games that I have been so excited to Let's Play. You know, most recently the Digital Devil Saga duology, I've been so excited to Let's Play them, I just keep going on them. And because of that, I get them out very fast, because I just want to keep doing them. And then there's been Let's Plays that I just have not wanted to do, just because they haven't been interesting to me, or they've just, the game just sucks. I'm looking at new Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. Ugh. So, yeah, and anything that's in between where I enjoy the game, but I'm not particularly interested in it at the moment, because everyone's got phases, right? Where they get interested in something for a certain period of time. So right now I'm pretty interested in Phantasy Star as a whole. I'm going to go back to Phantasy Star 2, play through that, and then Phantasy Star Online 1. and then probably Phantasy Star 3 and 4. Although, you know, doing a bunch of RPGs together can be a little draining, but I've certainly done it a lot in the past few years. But you know, that's kind of what's interesting me now. Of course, a few years ago, back when Metroid 1 and Prime Let's Plays were coming around, that's when I was interested in Metroid as a whole. And right now, of course, I still love Metroid. It's still my favourite franchise of all time, but you know, I'm not the most interested in it at the moment. So yeah, as a result, you know, I'm still happy to record, but just not as excited as I would be if I was super into it. See, if I was super into Metroid at the moment, oh yeah, I'd be straight on board. So let's play this probably. Still post commentary, but you know. So that was the case with Metroid Prime. I was super excited to record, and same with Super actually. I was just ridiculously excited to record it. So I mean, that's sort of the problem. You know, if it's my willingness to record sort of depends on what I'm interested in at the time, and of course I don't want to just do a series over and over. You know, just play games in the series over and over, because that'd just be not very diverse on the channel, and that's what I want, is a diverse series, a set of bunch of series. We just got the Spazer Beam, and what that does is it shoots 3 lasers. So like a spread laser, I guess it stands for. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, the Spazer is actually a lot of fun. I do love the Spazer. So yeah, you know, and obviously I'm not interested in recording Phantasy Star at the moment because, I mean, obviously I'm interested in Phantasy Star, but I don't want to record it because they're RPGs, and RPGs is always fun, right? But I've just done two pretty big ones back to back because they're a duology, right? And they take time, you know. And by the time that I've finished recording them, I'm not interested in continuing playing them. So that's the trouble. But you know, and then of course that also depends on the series itself. So Phantasy Star is an RPG. Yeah, don't exactly want to record that. Then of course a few months ago I was pretty invested in Devil May Cry, so that's why I did the Devil May Cry Let's Play. I had been wanting to do that for a while, but Devil May Cry was interesting to me at that point, so I decided, hey, you know, let's capitalize on that and do it. It's something that always depends on what I'm interested in. So say for example, I seem to get interested in, or heavily invested in SMT all the time, right? It seems like once a year. Which is why it's become one of my favourite franchises. But so if I went to go record both Persona 1 games now, I would not be interested, right? That would just bore me. To record at least. Well, they wouldn't bore me, but because I still like them, it's just they would not be that enjoyable. Nowhere near as enjoyable as they were to record because I was into SMT at the time. And that was super fun to record because of that. And so, yeah, it's kind of strange that, you know, I found Link to the Past, one of my favourite SNES games, and probably my top 30, I'd say, games of all time. I found it less enjoyable to record. I still found it enjoyable to record, but nowhere near as much as Revelations Persona, which I think is an alright game. I still like it. It's just you really have to be invested in it. So it's kind of strange, but you know, my regret with that is that it influences how much I want to record something. I mean, you can't exactly control what you're interested in at all times, right? So I can't decide, oh, well, now I'm interested in Metroid, so now I want to record Metroid all the time. No. It's not how that works, as much as that would be good. So, I mean, there you go. It's like all throughout the past few months after Devil May Cry, I was interested in Final Fantasy again. I played through the original 7 because it was about time that I finished that playthrough. And then Crisis Core, and then 15, you know, stuff like that. And of course I couldn't record those or anything like that because it's an RPG, and Final Fantasy RPGs just... One, you know, my level of enjoyment with them is all over the place. At times I'm loving them and don't want to stop playing them, and at other points at the same game for a good stretch of 5 or 6 hours I'm just loathing playing it. And obviously that's not fun to record. But also because they're just long. They're very long. I mean, Crisis Core isn't, but there's no way I'm going to record Crisis Core. I mean, Crisis Core also isn't that good. It's just alright. So yeah, that's the trouble. So, well, see, by saying that, it makes it seem like I'm not interested in recording any games at the moment, when, you know, of course I am. It's just I'm not as interested in recording anything. But if I were interested in, let's say, I don't know, like, let's go with Ocarina of Time, because I mentioned that earlier. You know, recording that now, sure, I'd be happy to record it, and it'd be fine. I'd play it, just fine, because I enjoy the game. But I wouldn't be anywhere near as invested in recording it as if I were, you know, into Zelda at the time. Because if I was, then I'd want to record it all the time. Who needs sleep when you can record something? You know? And that's just something that comes and goes every now and then. And that's just been a thing over and over throughout the years, throughout the, what, 11 years? 11 years. Christ. But I mean, at least it's nowhere near as bad as, you know, just starting a Let's Play and not finishing it. Which is something I never, ever want to do again. I mean, Shadow Dragon's an exception because it was that bad, but, you know, that's something I never want to have to deal with again. Because the first, what, 5 Let's Plays? Out of those 5, only 3 were finished. Wow. I was thinking there's only like 1 or 2. But no, because I finished, well, the reason that a lot of them were just never finished is also because of, you know, I was gonna finish them all, but, I mean, lost access to that channel, so that was the problem with that. Let me take a swig of water here. I'm very croaky. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, still in the third area here. You know, when was the last time we talked about the game, right? Still in the third area. This particular Metroid here, I remember, is one painful to deal with because you got all these. I mean, at least it's an alpha, but you got to get rid of all this brambles sort of stuff. Otherwise, your missiles just get caught in it. So, yeah, that can be annoying. But this is what I meant when I was talking about how Area 3 is kind of the most annoying area to traverse, because we're not done here. No, we got to go up through that little gap there, but oh, can't space jump. Better go spider ball. And then not only do we get up here, but we also have to go through these rooms, which are not the easiest to navigate. We've got a Metroid shell here, and Pretty sure you actually have to go through the Metroid. Yeah, because look at this. There's a Metroid on the other side of the wall here, but you know, I'm bombing it now, but there's no way to get through from here. I'm trying everything, and I'm thinking, alright, well, what do I do? Because I've been looking at the map, and I think, what do I do to get through to that Metroid? I think this is the spot every single time when I play this game. I go, okay, what? And then I think about, hang on, there's a Metroid shell here, I gotta go through that, don't I? Yep. Not very obvious, but I mean, that's classic Metroid for you. But then, oh, there's Bramble in here, and this is a very awkward arena with a Gamma. So, yeah, this isn't fun. This isn't fun to deal with. It's very uncomfortable, but I'm pretty sure this is the last Metroid of Area 3 that we have to take care of. Also, if I haven't mentioned it yet, you can take out the Metroids in an area in any order. So you have about 5 to do in Area 3 or something like that, 5 or 6. You can take out any of those, or those in any order that you want. Unless in order to get to one Metroid you have to go through another Metroid or something like that. You know, that's the only exception. But now, I'm thinking, well, that was an uncomfortable fight. So I want to go heal up. But of course the nearest healing point I don't think is close to any Metroids nearby, unless I'm just going to farm for health or something, which I may be doing. But the earthquake hasn't gone off yet, so we still have, I think it's one more Metroid that we have to take care of. And here's the shell here, so... What's the point of that bramble there? Or whatever it's supposed to be, just bushes, I guess. But yeah, this is the point of the game where it's a little sluggish and a little ugh. So, once we get past this point, it's much better. Although you can't really tell that unless you play it yourself. But oh, there's suddenly a Metroid. And it's a Gamma, and look at the health I have. This is an uncomfortable position. Oh, now we're on very low health. Oh, okay, even lower health. But there's a health pickup through there. Thank God. You know, that's actually pretty good placement. Because at this point, you're sort of deep in a den of Metroids, bunch of Gammas in a row, without any health. So that's very uncomfortable. You know, starting with the next area, they start to make it so you'll go through the main corridor into the next area, and then there'll be a big hub in the center or something similar to that effect. But there's a save point and a missile recharge station and a health recharge station, and then surrounding that middle area, there's a few hallways that are around, or a few small areas that you go into and you fight Metroids. Like one or two Metroids per little corner area, little hallway. And then once you're done with those, you quickly come back out to the center area and fill up, save, and then you go on to the next one. Which I think would have been nice. It would have been a little repetitive, yes, but I think it would have been better if it was just done in these first 3 areas, especially this area. Holy hell. Because, uh-oh, there's another Metroid behind there, but it's behind a wall. It's actually extremely similar to the one Metroid that we fought earlier. In terms of location, at least. So, yeah. I think the game just would have been better structurally if it was like that. Yeah, we've already taken out 21 Metroids. Not bad. Not bad indeed. And of course, Area 3 is just, it's got all these weird bushes and everything. It feels like it's not meant for it kind of feels like you're constantly out of bounds. Like there, we just went through a weird looking thing there, bushes and all sorts of platforms. It feels like an unfinished area, or just an area that you weren't supposed to go through at times. Because just all sorts of weird things that you have to do to progress, weird little places that you have to go through. It's very strange, but thankfully there's nothing like this for the rest of the game. So, that's good at least. See, the problem with Area 3 though, is that I'm glad that the game starts to get much better after this, but the thing is, Area 3 kind of strains the experience enough to where you think, alright, well now I'd just like to finish the game. And that pervades throughout the last few areas. Which, I mean, it's good that the last few areas are short and, you know, to the point. And, you know, you feel better about it. It's not that much of a slog to go through the rest of it. But you'll still have that feeling of, yeah, you know, I've had my fill, I'd like to finish it now. And just because of Area 3, it makes every playthrough feel a little bit longer than it really is. So, that's just unfortunate. But I mean, you know, I still think this game definitely holds up better than the first one. No doubt about it. You know, I think a lot of people write this one off. You know, whether or not it's because it's a Game Boy game or it's more linear than the first one, or you know, just because it's a little strange in design and structure compared to the first game and the rest of the series. But I still think it's better than the first one, definitely. So I mean, I don't know. It's a game that the game to me is kind of like something that, you know, you play through once and you think, all right, well that was enjoyable, but I'm done. You know, I don't need to play it for a long time afterwards. Because after this, I can't think of the next time I'm ever going to touch this game.